All right, so getting back from El Salvador, I more or less accidentally started carnivore. Now, I prefer the term anti-vegan personally. Pretty much I can eat whatever a vegan can't eat. So if I'm ever confused, it's like, what can a vegan not eat? Oh, well, that's what I can eat. So that's carnivore. Animal byproducts, meat, cheese, milk, things like that. Now, the first 3 weeks after El Salvador were pretty rough. Like, I had some physiological things going on with my body because I had basically quit cold turkey, everything else. And it was an adjustment period for sure. So the first area that I struggled with, like I said, was physiological. And my body had basically been trained my entire life to live off carbs. So at the end of the day, I would have these cravings, just like my body kind of telling me, ooh, I need some carbs. I need carbs. I need carbs. It wasn't like, ooh, I want to taste whatever, this cake or just whatever. It was different than that, but my body was like, I have to have this to live. The second was more of like a social kind of thing. Like being invited over to a friend's house and I can't eat their food, or just telling them no, or going out to eat with my wife and not knowing what to get. Just kind of those social things. Those wore off pretty quickly just because my friends and family, everybody was so welcoming and understanding that I didn't eat the potato salad or the macaroni or whatever. So when I started carnivore, I pretty much ate as much as I wanted. Meat-wise, everything that was approved. Tons of cheeses, tons of meats, and it was great. I started shedding pounds. I had barbecue sauce on anything, wasn't worried about that at all. Since January, I've cut out cheeses entirely just because I felt bloated with the cheeses. I felt just a little lethargic with all the cheeses and the barbecue sauce because that's just an excuse for us to put sugar on our meat. So in January, I just cut that out entirely. No more cheeses, no more barbecue sauce, and it was just meat after that. So my diet for the past year has pretty much been 1 pound of ground beef every single day, seasoned with just black pepper. And then when it's done, I put some sriracha on there. I know sriracha is not carnivore at all, but I make up my own rules, and that's how I get my salt. So when I'm a little hungry throughout the day, which does happen, because primarily I eat once a day, and usually I'm not hungry at all. This means I was a little more active. I'll have some pork rinds. It's nice crunch, 0 carbs. Every now and then, which I try to stay away from because they've got added stuff, sugars, all kinds of stuff you don't need, is deli meats. So if I got nothing else in the house and I'm hungry, I'll have a few slices of deli meats. Now, when I'm super active, playing outside, hiking, whatever, I'm sweating a lot, I found very quickly that I've got to have salt, and I don't add salt to the food that I eat. So that was a big deficit. So I'll either have some beef jerky, I'll have more pork rinds. Powerade Zero is a great way for me to get some of that salt intake, or sometimes literally just a pinch of like sea salt that I'll just, stick in my mouth and eat. I really hate like salt water, salting my water like that. Ugh. So when my wife and I go out to eat on date nights, I hate chicken. Okay. I don't hate chicken. It's just chicken is chicken is chicken. If I'm going out to eat, I'm never going to order chicken. So I get steak, always rare. That's what I eat. My wife eats my sides. It works out. So when I'm out of town, like at the start of the summer, my wife was in the hospital for 5 days. She was having surgery. So I couldn't thaw my meat, prepare my meat in a hospital room. So I brought some beef jerky, but primarily just canned chicken. It was not great, but it did the job, and it's convenient. I can travel with it. It's super easy. I still drink a ton of coffee, just black coffee, usually cold brew that I make myself, and don't add anything to it. No milk, no creamer, obviously no sugar. I take a multivitamin every day just to kind of help with some of the things I might not be getting. And just like in El Salvador, this has almost been a year of, me being an anti-vegan. I don't crave other foods. I don't crave peanut butter. I don't crave Ho-Hos or Nutty Bars or Jolly Ranchers or just whatever, chips. I don't crave those things at all, which is just a huge blessing from the Lord. I don't sneak extra goodies at night. I eat once a day, pretty much, and that's it. Pretty much the only time that I've cheated was a couple weeks ago. I had one Flamin' Hot Cheeto. I repeat, one Cheeto, not a bag of Cheetos, not a handful of Cheetos, one, cheese curl, one Flamin' Hot Cheeto, that was it. Tasted awesome, but it's not like I just kept eating and eating and eating. I had one, hadn't had one in a long time, and it was fine. I've also, in this past year, pretty much done 0 resistance training, 0 cardio. I know I should, that would be great. but I just haven't. So I started at 318 and now I'm down to 216, which is amazing. That's totally awesome. One of the things that I have done is, since I've lost that much weight, I was like, oh, let me see if I can do some chin-ups. I was like, hey, I can do a chin-up. I haven't done that in a long time, and push-ups and all kinds of things. So I think I'm slowly getting into more resistance training, maybe some calisthenics training, things like that. Oh, cardio sucks. I don't know about that. Now, I know some of you will say, God didn't really heal you. You went on carnivore, and that's why you've lost all this weight. That's why you've seen all the benefits. Look, I know you might not know me, but I know myself, and I am simply not disciplined enough. I've struggled with obesity my entire life. I was one of those fat kids in school my whole life. And as an adult, I've done different diets, different fad diets, exercise, just you name it. And when things get stressful, I just eat and I eat and I eat. And let me tell you, things have been stressful this past year, but I haven't. And it's not because I'm just this awesome, disciplined person. That is not the case. It is not me whatsoever. It's literally God's grace, God's goodness, God's blessing in this area of my life. So I fully know and believe that this is God's work, whether you believe it or not, and that this is a living testimony to the goodness, the mercy, the graciousness of God. And my hope is that this story will point to ultimately his love.